Fix that up. Fix that up. There you go. There you go. Let's go. To my replay unit, salute. You guys are getting this right now. My live crew, it takes an extra second. Hold on. There we go. Salute. Check. Check. 1 2 1 2. SummerSlam or Bummer Slam. That's up to you. Check. 1 2 1 2. Your playback sounds good. BC, are you ready? Oh, hell yeah. Unit, you ready? Hell yeah. Your playback sounds good. Hold on, let me stop your playback. You guys sound pretty good, man. Let me switch over to my playback if you don't mind. BC's got to hear himself in real time, you know? We got a whole Monday Night Raw review here for July the 15th, 2024. You damn right. BC needs to hear that amplified style. As you guys heard as we were starting this live stream, I got a fresh coffee for this review. Fine folks at Dunkin' Donuts. I just got a fresh box of Folgers. I can't wait to bust that open, by the way. But right now we doing some Dunkin' extra, and got to put the magic potion in there, man. We got to put the extra. This is a mixture of actual Dunkin' cream and sugar. That's right. Sometimes I like it straight up black. For these reviews, let's relax a little bit more. Let's put the magic potion in there. Ah, look at that. Oh, look at that. Mix it up, BC. Mix it up. There you go. And now what you got is a fresh Dunkin' extra salute unit. Amplified. It's like Popeye eating his spinach, you know? You get a good 2 hours in at the gym, you bust out the triceps today. Look at the triceps are bumping out today. 2 hours of triceps, and then you hit the Dunkin'. You're like, damn, I could do a 4-hour review. But did WWE allow enough to happen last night for a 4-hour review? Not so fast. Let's talk about it. I asked the question with a little bit of fun, a little bit of sarcasm. SummerSlam or Bummer Slam? It's up to you. What happened that was good on this show last night? If you ask me that question from the jump, I have to think, right, this is not in my notes. If you were to go, BC, you watched all 3 hours last night, and I tell you, yeah, I did. I did watch all 3 hours. If you said, well, what was good, BC, last night? Like, what did you remember? What would you suggest? If I have 5 minutes of free time today, what should I go back and watch, BC? Not much. I would say if you have a moment, check out Erick Rowan's backstage interview, kind of like that VHS type tape. Nothing over the top. It's pretty much what we already knew, but he's telling individuals, you know, like how heartbroken he is from losing his two brothers. That was pretty well done, and this is coming from somebody who, after last week, I was done with the VHSs. But if you're going to tell the individual stories of the Nikki Crosses and the Rowans, pretty cool. You're still going to have substance, and that's what they did last night. Bo Dallas attacked by Gable and his new crew, the Creeds. So I guess that was pretty well done. I would say if you have some time, maybe check that out. Drew McIntyre's segment should have been so much better. They were on the right track. I was waiting for the Adam Pearce beatdown, but we never got it. So that should have been better. As far as what else, a championship IC title match, that is exactly what I told you guys it was going to be. It was going to end with Bronson Breaker and the aerial spear. Hunter Hearst Helmsley's new toy. He will not give it up. Two things that we're going to get every week that were really cool, but now he's run them into the ground. The backstage walkthrough, the one shot where somebody is going from the locker room, through the corridors, through Gorilla, and through the curtain, that one shot, that's overused now. Now it's not even special. And now the aerial spear. Every time you see Braun, cut to camera D, and you're going to get the crane shot of Braun Breaker running around, the old Braun Strowman, choo-choo, chugga, choo-choo. He's the new Braun Strowman. He's running around, and he's going to spear somebody, or he's going to go headfirst into the steel steps. But you got your aerial view spear last night. Awesome. No, you did not have to go and see that title match that the crowd didn't even care. I don't even know if that match got it. This is awesome. Every match gets a "this is awesome" from the crowd in attendance these days. I don't even know if that match got it. The crowd was so out of it by that point because they had to watch a 7-minute promo, 8-minute promo with Damien Priest and Gunther, heel and a heel. And by the way, both of them did pretty good on the mic. So you're asking yourself, if you did watch it, why did the crowd not care about this? Why did nobody care about Priest and Gunther? Why? Because they don't have anybody to root for. He's a heel, Damien Priest. He just beat face Braun Strowman last night to signify that as well, to put the cherry on top. Gunther is certainly a certified heel. They tried to make Damien more of the face last night by calling him basically street trash. No, basically, they called him street trash. That didn't help. The crowd couldn't care less. Crickets. And this is one of your main events for SummerSlam. No, if you only have 5 minutes, I am not telling you to go and watch Damien Priest and Gunther's promo. I'm not even telling you to watch anything to do with Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Dominic. Such a good storyline. Last week we had expectations, maybe not too high, but expectations. After Rhea Ripley comes down, Liv Morgan hightails it. Dominic goes for the hug. Rhea shrugs him off. We go off the air. We're expecting something good, right? Everybody's writing in their little post, and the journalists, everybody's writing how Dominic is going to be ripped apart by Ripley, right? He's going to be destroyed. He's wrecked. He's a dead man. He's done. And this week, they're just a couple of high schoolers having an argument, right? They're talking to each other. They're hanging out in the clubhouse together. Ripley's just a little bit upset. How could you give your attention to another female, Dominic? And they're having a little bit of a high school argument, right? Dominic's like, I got a match with Jey Uso to make it up for you. Dominic, why are you doing that? Are you an idiot? Okay, I can get rid of the match if you want. No, what are you, a coward now? No, I'm just trying to make you happy, mommy. Rolls her eyes. It's like a high school romance that they're having a little bit of turbulence. That is not what we expected last week, and you know it. Now, I understand, right? The goal here is probably just to have Dominic play the middleman at SummerSlam, right? He's still a little bit involved with Liv in some accord, but on the other hand, he is still more heavily with Rhea. And then maybe Dominic turns on Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. And then I guess Liv keeps the title. And then Rhea gets it a month later at the next PLE? Or does Rhea not get it at all from Liv? So if he cost Rhea, then you're just telling us that Rhea came back and doesn't even reclaim her title. But even if that's where you want to go, you want to still keep ties with Rhea and Dominic, couldn't you have done better than just a high school argument? Where Rhea she wasn't that angry with Dominic. She turned her back. I don't want to hear it. I'm not looking at you. Then they're hanging out backstage, and she's still a little bit upset with Dominic. That's the best that we got? We thought Dominic was going to be lawn darted like Rey Mysterio into the trailer by Kevin Nash in WCW. There's the trailer, open air, whoop, there goes Dominik Mysterio. Dome piece first into the trailer. No, instead, she turns her back. I'm upset with you, Dominic. That was it. All of this. 3 months. And she's a little bit upset. Everybody, the whole community was like, he's a dead man. He's done. He's destroyed. He's going to be ripped apart by Ripley. Wow, that was it. He was destroyed. She turned her back. That wasn't it. If you only got 5 minutes and you say, BC, what can I go back and watch for 5 minutes, man? I ain't going to tell you to watch anything with them. And then later on, by the way, Dominic's in a match with Jason Uso, and Liv Morgan winds up back on top of Dominik. Or Dominik on Liv, Liv flips him over, Liv on Dom. Have we seen this once, twice, 3 times before? A little bit redundant. Last night, I literally went, again? How many times is this girl landing on Dominik? It's getting unrealistic now. None of it connected. And if you're being honest, it just didn't connect with you either, or you're just willing to love it all, because it's just a wrestling show anyway. I'm willing to forget all the nonsensical BS, basically. Well, that's cool, man. That's honestly cool. Honestly, I'm not much respect if you can do that. I need things to make sense. I want to fully invest into the storyline. I want to fully invest into the characters. I want to believe it a little bit, right? Just a little bit believe in what I'm viewing. What else? I don't know, man. Sonya Deville and Zelina in a 60-second match. Do you guys care to see Shayna and Zoe in a 9-minute match with Carter and Chance? Maybe that's your cup of coffee. What else? I don't even know. Priest versus Braun Strowman? I don't know. If I'm answering you honestly, BC, what would you say, man? If I only got 5 minutes, what should I go back and watch? That's my honest. The only thing I truly remember is maybe the Erick Rowan VHS thing, man. That's honestly it. We're gonna go over it. Maybe I missed a thing or two. Maybe I'll change my mind on a thing or two during this review, because this is the full, and I assure you, the amplified review of Monday Night Raw 7/15/24. Salute everybody up in the chat. I know I saw a member chat as well. I have to get those because those don't hang around for some reason. The membership super chats, they go off within like 10 minutes, unfortunately. 19 months, Dante Jaron 23. Appreciate the 19, but even better, here's to the next 19 and beyond. Channel Gold Card membership, Dante Jaron 23. Been rocking with BC in the AMP unit longer than some of my past relationships. 19 months, Dante Jaron 23. And we're not a little bit upset at one another. None of the unit. We're still rocking out, unlike Dominik and Rhea. Dante Jaron 23, let me give you a proper singular salute, man. I appreciate it big time, the coffees. Here's to Dante Jaron 23 in 19 months. And if you're wondering, that's as long as we've had channel memberships, 19 months. So that's a down from day one, no ish. Dante Jaron 23. Hold on, I ain't starting this up until I hit that super chat, by the way. That's a mini banger bomb, bro. A 20-spot Ash Stegmeister Stegels on a morning/daytime stream with about 40 minutes of notice. Stegmeister showing up with a mini banger bomb, dude. Stegmeister, salute. Breaking news. Currently watching Raw, and so far, I want to have a shower, put the PS5 on, and completely forget about this shit show that I am watching. That's one of my tried and trues on this channel. He went back, obviously didn't watch it live, but he went back to watch this show to fully engage with this stream. And my dude Stegmeister doesn't even want to deal with it. That's what this show is doing to my boy Stegmeister. Put the PS5 on, hit the shower, maybe put the PS5 on in the shower. At this point, electrocution could be better than Monday Night Raw. Who knows? Stegmeister, I appreciate it big time, man. Salute. I don't know if you've gotten through all of it, Stegmeister. I don't know if you're still up in the chat. There's no reason to hang around. I'm telling you, man, it ends with a title match. Spoiler, obviously. It's a review show, so here's a spoiler. It ends with a title match that ended exactly as we thought. Samuel Zaney versus Drago. And the same match that all Drago match ends with, or anything to do with Braun, another DQ, and Breaker's aerial spear, which he does every week now. You got to have the aerial shot of the spear. We have not run that into the ground yet. We're still getting every piece of liquid out of this fucking aerial spear juice. And we're going to squeeze the life out of this aerial spear shot. But that's it. You don't have to watch the end of the show because Jey Uso and Dominic preceded that. and Liv Morgan just wound up on top of Dominic again. Same thing. And then Rhea comes out and Liv hightails it. Same thing as we saw last week, basically. Basically, same exact thing. No build to SummerSlam, just the same stagnant booking. So, Stegmeister. Appreciate it, brother. Stegmeister still up in here, by the way? I'm on the women's tag match, Stegmeister said. Oh, let me see where you are then. Hold on. You are at the end of hour 2. So you're about to go into the Drew McIntyre, Adam Pearce segment. It was actually well done. We should have got a lot more at the tail end. So, Stegmeister, I might beat you to the time you get to the end of the show because I don't know how long this review is actually going to go. There's not much to discuss in the positive realm. So, and I certainly do not want to harp on the negative. I do not want to be here for an hour talking about this damn show, but it's possible. So again, Dante, Jaren 23 and Stegmeister, appreciate the support big time, man, to kick us off on the stream. And to say kick us off, we should start from the very jump. This is Rhea Ripley starting the show. Dominik Mysterio to the ring with flowers. You can't help but think they're just trying to recreate Eddie Guerrero in China. Now, I know we've made these comparisons in the past, and a lot of you guys might be so young that you don't really remember the storyline with China and Eddie Guerrero. But there was a lot of flowers involved. There was a lot of mamacita talk. A lot of this is starting to resemble. And I'm okay with reusing older storylines, by the way. Segments, shots, you name it. I'm okay with it. Just do it correctly. So I'm okay with this, but I immediately just went right back to another Eddie Guerrero China situation. Rhea has her back turned the entire time, right? I don't want to hear it. She's not that upset, though, because if she was that upset, she would have delivered a riptide to Dominic instantly. Instead, she just turns her back. And Liv Morgan appears on the Tron. Morgan says, "It started out just to get back at you, Rhea, but then I actually fell for and want to be with Daddy Dom." So this pisses off Rhea Ripley. She lays down a SummerSlam challenge. Morgan accepts the SummerSlam challenge. Morgan then says, "I'll see you at SummerSlam, and I hope to see you there too, Daddy Dom." Blows a kiss. Titantron goes off. Ripley and Mysterio leave the ring together. Dominic's still trying to apologize. "I have nothing to do with this." And Rhea's like, "I don't want to hear it right now, Dom. Let's go to the clubhouse." And they go off together. Just a couple kind of arguing. Do you remember just last week we were like, "Oh, this is going to get good"? Dominic is in the doghouse. Now, I don't know about my fellow dudes out there, but that's not the doghouse. The doghouse is not just a back turn, letting you get in all your words, hanging out with you in the clubhouse. And just being a little upset with you. That's not being in the doghouse. People thought Dominic was going to be ripped apart by Ripley last week. Over-embellished and over-exaggerated the situation just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because that was just like high schoolers arguing, man. They left together. That should have been much better. That should have been much better, man. The way it ended last week, it put a little bit of a pulse into this show. And this week, nothing happened. We announced the match for SummerSlam that we already knew was going to happen anyway. Adam Pearce could have just made that on a Friday night. Blown kiss by Liv. Liv takes off the Tron and they take off together, and that's what we start the show. And there you go. The storyline is pretty done. It's done. There's nothing else. An hour later, Liv is laying on top of Dom again. Then she's running away from Rhea, so we're just repeating it. SummerSlam is in 18 nights. And then Dominic will, I guess, turn on Rhea, and then we have to start kind of another whole thing if they're going to keep this story going. But the heat of this story was Rhea coming back. That was it. Rhea Ripley coming back was the story. What she's going to do to Liv immediately. SummerSlam's a whole nother chapter in this story. But immediately, that's when you strike when the iron is hot. Dominic, the effect that's going to have on him. Nothing happened. Nothing. They're arguing. Now, how does SummerSlam go? Do you guys feel Dominik screws Rhea Ripley and I guess Liv walks away with the title? G. Glover knows. The doghouse is hell, LOL. Yeah, it ain't just a simple back turn and you get to speak your words. No, you're getting vases thrown at your dome piece. You're getting all your shit thrown off the balcony. You getting a certified placement on the couch or on the porch. You are not just hanging out with her in the clubhouse. That's not the doghouse. While you guys are answering, do you think that Dominik screws over Rhea Ripley? I also got to send a shout out over to 6 months membership, Darian Romero. Darian, highlight of Raw, Bo Dallas's laugh. Then it's back to college football 25. Yeah, Bo Dallas really tapping into Bray Wyatt, his older brother, man. Darian, I appreciate the 6 months to another 6 and beyond, dude. And I also got to give a shout out. That's 6 months by Darian. Anthony Boley, 19 months. That's the full time frame of our membership. So that's a day one, no ish. Anthony Boley, 19 months. Poor Dom. LOL. He fucked up. What's up, BC? Passing through to show some love and respect. Anthony Boley, don't worry about Dominik. He didn't screw up that much. Rhea's already talking to him. Just a little upset with him. That was it. No lie, Anthony. I don't know if you caught the show last night, but Rhea's not that pissed off at all. Because that is not the doghouse. Salute, Anthony Boley, to another 19 months, man. Yeah, Alicia says, I see Dom screwing Rhea over. Let me fix that camera a little bit. See Dom screwing Rhea over. Dom screwing Rhea at SummerSlam. Take that which way you want. Ash Stegmeister. I can see Dom screwing over Rhea. Flip. Who knows what Finn and Liv are brewing up together? That would be a twist. James Shrimp Fajita is exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, wouldn't it be something if Baszler helped out Liv? Because didn't Liv help Baszler get his tag team title? And it was Baszler who got the hotel room key. So rather than just having Dominik turn on Rhea Ripley, which is where everybody believes this is going, why not have Finn Baszler screw over Judgment Day, screw over Dominik and Rhea, and align with Liv Morgan? I gotta be honest with you guys. Finn Baszler and Liv Morgan intrigues me more than Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan. I feel like I know where that will go. I don't know where Baszler and Liv will go, but it intrigues me more. Now, everybody will have their own way of thinking. Some people might think Liv Morgan would be better with McDonuts. Or what do we call them now? McDonald's. JD McDonald's. That's it, McDonald's. Or maybe she'd be better with Damien. I just think that Baszler would work better in this story because it would be a complete plot twist, but it would make sense. He grabbed the hotel room key, I believe, and I believe she helped him and McDonald's get the tag team titles. So, guess it would make the most sense. JR9. Baszler and Liv also teamed with AJ versus Edge's Judgment Day. Totally forgot about that. More layers to it, so you could actually go that route. Maybe Finn and Liv versus Dominik and Rio. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I would absolutely be down with that mixed tag match. Facts, BC, it's way more intriguing pairing, JR9. Yeah, and this is not in my notes. I'm just literally, you guys are coming up with some good examples of things, some good input, and I'm kind of flowing off that, and I just thought, wait a second, what if? Because everybody already has Rhea Ripley being screwed by Dominik. That's like the easiest way to go. I don't know if that's the best way to go, though. And then if you insert Baszler, it makes sense, man. Baszler aligns with Liv, screws over Judgment Day. Man, I don't know. I think we're on to something, guys. Sarah says, yes, you were right, BC. Liv helped Judgment Day get the tag titles. Finn did grab the room key. So there you go. There's already a lot of layers there with Baszler and Liv, with a lot more explanation that needs to be had. I don't know, bro. That sounds fun. I'm actually that actually kind of excites me a little bit storyline wise. You know what I mean? I think that would reignite Baszler's career. Liv Morgan and Baszler together. I don't know. That seems fun. G. Glover, Finn has been acting sneaky. Who knows? Maybe that's in the works, man. maybe they're already kind of brewing something, man. It ain't just coffee being brewed up. Finn Balor turning on a Judgment Day. What would that be, though? Judgment Day is already heels. Supposed to be anyway, right? So then you have Balor. I mean, wouldn't that almost make Judgment, or at least Rhea, a face? But she's also kind of already going to be the face in that match. They're trying to like sneakily make Damien a face, even though he's in this heel faction. Judgment Day is weird right now. I really don't know. Are they faces, heels? They're always in these comedy acts that make you laugh. And when people make you laugh, you kind of want to like them a little more. But I mean, then you see them turn around and they're taking out Rey Mysterio and people that a lot of people enjoy and really like. Yeah, Dr. Smooth, dude, definitely he's going more toward face. But with 18 days before SummerSlam, he's just not. And that's why a lot of the crowd last night, most of the crowd, they just couldn't get into that back and forth promo with him and Gunther. Because they just didn't know, like, who am I supposed to cheer for? Who do I want to cheer for? Do I want to cheer for any of these dudes? Interesting. So that was the whole first part of the Monday Night Raw, guys. Hour one, start of the show. Liv on the Tron, matches made for SummerSlam, and Mysterio and Rhea just walk up together, and Rhea's just upset with Dominik. I thought it would be a lot more impactful. I really was expecting a lot more fury from Rhea Ripley and Dominik, and a lot more between Liv and Rhea. They would have another interaction an hour later, but that was also just redundancy. First match of the night. This was Sheamus versus Bronson Reed. Some more coffee if you don't mind. Hold on. So, I believe, I wasn't able to get a chance out of playback. Maybe you guys will know in the chat. I believe that Sheamus had a new intro theme. Or the same theme, but maybe they tweaked it a little bit. And somebody, Jer9 or anybody can confirm this, or maybe BC had too much coffee at that point, and maybe I was hearing things. That could be possible. That's possible. But I could have sworn that it sounded a little bit different. I wasn't able. I made a note to go back and check it out. I just didn't have time to do it. So I don't know. You guys can go ahead and Sheamus new Jer9, Sheamus new music, just awful. So it is new music. Did they tweak it or was it completely new? Because I caught it a little bit late and I was like, wait, that's new, or at least different. Oh, and a new Titantron. And Mikey does say it is a new song, new theme, and it was absolutely awful, Joshua. So a lot of you guys are saying, nah, that wasn't it. New song sucks, says Flip Flip. All right, so it's an X-nay on the news. I didn't get to hear it in its totality. I heard it late, and I got to remember that. I think that was a new song. Stegmeister, completely new. He just got his old theme back in April, and they already changed it. Smack to the dome piece, Jer9. Yeah, man. So I wasn't just hearing shit. New theme for Sheamus. He defeats Bronson Reed via pinfall. Post-match, PD Dunne drops Sheamus. PD Dunne is upset with Sheamus, and last night he dropped him. So if you're looking at PD Dunne's booking, PD is a jobber. He is thrown in a stupid tag team. He loses his partner, and then he turns heel out of the blue. That's PD Dunne. Did I sum it up pretty good? PD Dunne goes to the main roster. He's an instant jobber. He gets thrown in a weird tag team with just as weird of a name. His partner is lost via injury. He gets turned heel out of the blue like that's gonna do something. You know, Hunter Hearst Helmsley's idea to switch everybody up can't just be to switch them face or heel. You have to eventually just give them proper booking. I think he leans too much on turns. You're going to turn you. We're going to flip you. We're going to turn you. We're going to flip you. They're not pancakes. Just give them good booking. I can't tell you that a PD Dunne heel turn is going to make that audience care about PD Dunne anymore unless you give them proper booking. So that's PD Dunne. And as far as Bronson, I don't know what they're doing with Bronson. I never knew why they brought him back. Much respect to Bronson Reed. I know he's got talent, especially for a big dude, but he always lacked that connection with the crowd. That connection has not been there. So they brought him back. For what? Doesn't look like they have anything. The dude is 5 W's out of his last 15 matches for those that keep count of wins and losses. And if you're one of those people that say wins and losses don't matter, they do. Not literally to keep track like it's a real sport or anything like that. Not that if you rack up 5 losses in a row, you're never going to be looked at as a good wrestler ever again. No, it's the feel though, right? We talked about this recently. It's just the feel that you are a winner. People can get behind you. When you come through the curtain, they go, oh, this dude, this is going to be good because they don't lose. Or at least very rarely. That's why wins and losses matter, guys. It's not literally to keep track of the actual number. But you can pretty much, if you didn't know Bronson's last 15 matches, you could probably come to the conclusion that he only wins barely 30% of his matches, and you'd be right, 5 of 15. Because it feels like Bronson's just a mid-AF dude. And it feels that way because his booking sucks and he loses a ton. That's why we say wins and losses matter. So I don't know what they're doing with PD Dunne. A turn out of nowhere. I lost my partner, and now I'm going to go back to the other partner I had. Well, that's like breaking up with your girlfriend, and you're like, shit, I'm going to go back to my other ex and remind them that I'm mad at them too. What? So PD Dunne revisiting an argument with Sheamus. Because they had nothing for PD Dunne. They have nothing for Bronson. Bronson racks up a weird L. He talked all this stuff last week. Bronson's like, they shouldn't be celebrating you. They should celebrate me. I'm the future of the business. 7 days later, Sheamus is like, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Pivot, pivot. Anybody watch Friends? I brought this up before a while back. I don't watch Friends. Once in a while, it's funny. I just never got into it. The couch, when they're moving up the couch upstairs and the cast is trying to move this giant couch, and clearly none of them go to the gym, right? That should be a 2-man job most. Somebody get the top, somebody bottom, and that couch is up there. Trust me. BC, I'm putting that couch on my back and we rock it. Or I'm bench pressing that shit. I'm power slamming it up. I'm putting that up like Ultimate Warrior. But it's a TV show. The Friends cast is trying to get this couch up. And Ross, the character Ross, is trying to tell them that they have to switch it. They have to move a little bit, pivot, right? And they're not pivoting. So he's like, pivot, pivot, pivot. And finally Chandler goes, shut up, shut up, shut up. It's hilarious. If you guys ever catch the clip, even if you don't watch Friends, I don't know. Friends pivot, I guess, would be it was great, man. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Woo! Coffee's hitting, guys. All right, so then we go over to where do we go? Oh, backstage. I love this female. I just hope she gets pushed soon. I really hope Hunter Hearst Helmsley understands that this needs to be a focal point. She's so good. She really is. I understand you don't think it because of her size. I get it, man. But she very rarely actually botches or hesitates. Zelina Vega. I know. But every time she's on, she delivers, man. They really failed her. Backlash. What was it, a year ago, JR9? Was it Backlash Puerto Rico, right? I always forget when that was. But she had this match, Puerto Rico, with Rhea. And of course, okay, I'm okay with her not winning it, right? Not the time for Rhea to drop that match. I get it. A lot of people felt she should have gotten the title, though. But I was okay with her not winning it. But coming out of it, you have to push Zelina. She earned it in that match before she had earned it. She was getting better and better right before that. But by that match, that's when you go, all right, you have earned a push. Right? That's what we heard about Damien Priest. I think it was the same event, JR9. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the chat. Damien Priest tagged with Bad Bunny, and they took on a couple of people. I forgot who it was. And Hunter Hearst Helmsley afterwards was like, dude, that was really good. And ever since, he tried to push Damien Priest. Well, why didn't Zelina get that type of rub? And to this day, by the way, a lot of people are going, it wasn't time for Damien. He should not have gotten the Money in the Bank. He should not have gotten the world title. He still botches left and right. There's still a confidence issue in Damien Priest. He wasn't ready. But Zelina looks more than ready, and Zelina didn't get pushed. So I understand there might be a lot of people that you're not high on Zelina, and WWE has given you no reason to be high on her. So I don't even blame you if you're kind of like, oh, all right, BC, I'll give you Zelina, but I'm just not too big on her. I totally get it. But I hope one day you can be. That's what I hope for in this company for Zelina. That one day she can make those that kind of pass Zelina. She's all right. I hope they can take a second look and go, actually, BC's right. Zelina's pretty damn good. Because Zelina is pretty damn good. She was in this backstage segment after Sheamus defeated Bronson, and she's delivering a really good promo on trying to get another shot at the Women's Championship, which she more than should get, especially after the way that last week's title match went down. So she's just cutting a good promo. In comes Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Sonya Deville, and her promo just got better. It's 3-on-1, and I gotta be honest with you, aside from Sonya, Zoe and Shayna, their promo deliverability is lesser than Zelina's at this point. So even though it was 3-on-1, Zelina carried her own weight in that promo. And she didn't stutter. She didn't hesitate. She hit all her words flawlessly. Zelina Vega in that backstage promo was another reason to check off another box that says she deserves a push. At some point in the future, Zelina Vega. And then they threw her into a match with Sonya Deville immediately. And yeah, I'm thinking, oh no, this can't be good, because they ain't gonna make Sonya and Shayna and Zoe's group lose this, and Zelina cannot afford another L, especially coming off not getting the championship last week or 2 weeks or whatever it was. But I didn't think they were gonna book her this bad. Zelina goes out there and in about 60 seconds, roughly 60 seconds and some change, maybe I'll give you 65 tops. But in about a minute, Sonya Deville is pinning her 1, 2, 3 as Zelina looks up at the lights. The assist goes to Shayna Baszler, nearly breaking the arm of Vega. And then post-match, Carter and Chance hit the ring, because later on there's going to be a tag match, Zoe and Shayna versus Carter and Chance. So they kind of tried to set that up real quick. But this was a 60-second match. Now, it looks like they'll write Vega off TV for a little bit. It looked like Baszler snapped the arm of Vega, maybe, right? Or at least it was a very bad tear or something. If this writes Vega off TV for some reason, maybe they want to just make it a story. Maybe she asked for a couple weeks of vacation. Maybe there's a nagging injury. She just wants to kind of wipe it out in a couple weeks. If she is written off TV, I really hope she comes back with that push. Come back, and not just with full amplification within herself, but I hope Hunter Hearst Helmsley gives her that amplification in the writing. Now, I don't know if she's actually written off TV. JR9, did you hear of any injury or anything like that? And I do agree, unacceptable is the word for that type of treatment and booking. But I don't know if she's actually written off TV, guys. Thank you, 100 on the ups. I appreciate that. Let's take that to 200 live. Did you guys hear of Zelina Vega getting injured? I hope that's not the case, because I feel she's once again just doing such good work, and we just need Hunter Hearst Helmsley to go, you know what? I know my focus is on everybody else with the females or all these other, my favorites. And I know Zelina's not one of my favorites, but she is so good. She has remained so good. Maybe I should give her a piece of the cake. Yeah. Didn't hear of any injury, Jared. Me neither. So it could just be in the storyline. Well, the thing is, guys, that's my Zelina rant. I just really hope they have something big for her. She is so good. She's absolutely beautiful, right? What do I call her? 5'11" of heaven? But it ain't just a beautiful little Spitfire. This is somebody that can go, and last night once again showed you on the microphone she can rock this better than 90% of the roster, unfortunately, for the roster. And then like I said, she loses a 60-second match to Sonya Deville. I don't get it. Then we go into hour number 2. This was Damien Priest and Gunther, one of the most befuddling matches of SummerSlam. So, Damien Priest and Gunther are face-to-face. Gunther says, and I quote, "I've reviewed your title reign since I've been away, and it's not working." He says, your title reign is not working. He says, your reign has been nothing, and it holds no prestige. Now, what's kind of funny, not funny about this, is that they just drew on a little bit of real life there, right? A lot of individuals, a lot of fans, a lot of insiders in the business are saying that this title reign, unfortunately, has just not been good. And then you see all the little hiccups, the botches, the mishaps, especially like Money in the Bank, when he forgot to kick the shoulder out. That was just dreadful. But all of this just led up to just a lot of people are like, dude, it wasn't time. It wasn't time for him to have the briefcase. It's not time for him to hold the title. It's not time for him to have one half of the main events at SummerSlam. It's just not time. It's not moving the needle. It's not really engaging fans to be excited. And sure enough, last night was another case. Watch the crowd. If you guys caught Raw, or if you go back and listen or watch Raw, that crowd, I don't know what they're doing, man. They're like, it's Damien and Gunther. Who are we really going fucking ballistic for? Who are we jumping out of our seats for? Damien's not doing it. Gunther's not doing it. They're both technically heels. So you can't blame the crowd. Right? A lot of people are, oh, that crowd was dead last night, man. It was Damien and Gunther face to face. So? It's not Warrior and Hogan face to face. It's not Stone Cold and The Rock face to face. It's not The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels face to face. It's not Kurt Angle and Sting face to face. So, you know, he kind of drew a little bit of realism there, right? I reviewed your title reign. It's been nothing. There's no prestige to it. It's not working, he says. A lot of people are actually saying that about Damien. So Gunther just kind of recited that. Damien then responds. Damien Priest says, I actually want to be here, unlike you, who's just here for a paycheck. I didn't get that line. Anybody that knows Gunther knows that he's there to be the very best, right? Like, he literally prides himself on being the best wrestler and brings the most prestige. That's not just a paycheck, right? Brock Lesnar, you can say that for. Brock has never been about just being the best this or that. Brock has always just been about the destruction, rack up the titles or whatever, but he just wants to get out ASAP, right? Give me the fucking money. Let me destroy some shit. Gunther, to say he's just there for a paycheck when he just got the King of the Ring crown and he's all about prestige, I don't know. That didn't fit the character. There's a lot of people you can use that against. It was kind of odd for Gunther to have that tagged on him. Anyway, he says, you're just here for a paycheck. Damien then says, I've worked my way up from nothing. Gunther responds, it's not my fault you come from nothing. Being on the streets is a choice. Blame your parents. You're always going to be street trash. That was a quote. He literally called Damien Priest street trash. Said don't blame anybody else but your parents. Being on the streets is a choice. A lot of people that get easily offended, man, they were outraged. That has no place in 2024. How can you do that? Relax. It's a promo. Was it very low-hanging fruit? Of course. It's Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I remember he was in a feud with Booker T. I'm not even going to tell you what was said in those promos. Hunter Hearst Helmsley has always used race as the low-hanging fruit and class of where to place certain people in the class that they think that other people will view them as. It's low-hanging fruit, but you know what? It'll get the job done, according to Helmsley anyway. So guess what? I thought that Damien's delivery, I thought that Gunther's delivery, I thought both were really good, actually. It's just the fact that the crowd didn't care. The crowd literally did not give any fucks about Damien or Gunther, and especially those two in the ring saying words to one another. Crowd did not care. Go back, listen, watch yourself. They didn't care, and BC told you they weren't going to care weeks ago. You don't make that match heel versus heel for a main event at SummerSlam when you're still trying to make casuals and a lot of fans still get to backing Gunther, to look at Gunther like the company looks at Gunther. Like, he's already getting Roman Reigns treatment. I mean, he gets to show up once a month, and when he does show up, he doesn't even have to wrestle. They want to make him special. Well, the problem is a lot of the fans, they still don't look at Gunther like that. So you're hoping that all this work pays off, and it does. And on the flip side, you got Damien, who half of the fan base, bare minimum, is already looking at this as a failed title reign. That's why they had to do what they had to do after the promo last night. We'll get to that in a minute with Braun Strowman. But I told you weeks ago, that's not a SummerSlam main event. Pull your heads out of your asses, I told WW. They didn't want to do it. They remained defiant and stubborn, and they kept the match up. Well, don't be shocked when you get a crowd like this that doesn't give any two flying fucks, because they didn't, and I don't blame them. So after he says, blame your parents, you're always going to be street trash, Priest responds at SummerSlam, I'm going to remain champion, and for the first time, you're going to see how it feels to work from the bottom up, because you'll have nothing. And Gunther does not seem upset at all. He's like, whoa, wow. What words? That was it. I think they had a little bit of like a tussle up maybe, right? And then Priest was in the ring yelling at Gunther, who was outside, and the crowd was basically silent. That was it. JR9, you caught the whole segment, right? Is anything that I just said in there, was there any non-facts, right? I mean, the crowd absolutely did not care, correct? Just to show you guys how vivid the details are in this review. No BS, not my opinion, right? I want the best for Gunther, you guys know that. Walter, I want the best for Damian Priest. But I'm not going to BS you in the review. I'm not going to tell you the crowd was like, whoa, this and SummerSlam is booming now, man. We cannot wait for Priest and Gunther. Maybe if it's like in the middle of the show, it's passable. This is one half of your double main event. JR9, you were spot on. Crowd had no idea what to do. That's the best way. JR9, you put it even better than I put it, man. They didn't know what to do. You know, we laugh at Damien in the clubhouse in the Judgment Day, so you kind of feel like Damien's, I guess if you have to pick a face, it would be Damien. And the way that Gunther was speaking to him, it's like you feel sorry for him. That's what they were doing, right? He called him street trash. So now the crowd is going to be like, how dare you? We are now Team Damien. That's what they tried to do. It didn't work. Crowd was like, ooh, low blow. Then they look back at Damien, they had some, and they didn't know. It's Damien Priest, guys. You can't manufacture, you can't force people to treat Damien Priest like Hogan or Stone Cold. You can't force them to feel like it's Shawn Michaels in there, or Stinger, or even a Christian Jericho. You can't force people to think that. They're not fools. It's Damien Priest. With a world title or not, a lot of the base still thinks and feels of him as a mid-carder. With Gunther, who barely shows up to Monday nights. It was sad to listen to that crowd, but I could not blame them. BC had the same reaction. And by the way, again, to show you how honest this review is, Priest nailed his promo. Gunther nailed his promo. They were not the problem. Problem is the booking. This is your main event for SummerSlam, one of them. Your other half is a match we just saw a few weeks ago, Solo versus Cody, and that's just to get Roman back. Solo, the guy who lost 41 matches in a row, became the leader of the bootleg bloodline, and that's your SummerSlam match, Solo and Cody. And then you wonder why a lot of people are like, whoa, who could possibly have booked this double main event? Like, how could this have possibly been approved? Hunter Hearst Helmsley. But you can't say that. A lot of people, they just, you can. He is saving wrestling. No, absolutely. The final approval goes to Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That double main event, I wouldn't even pay $15 to go see at a live event Cody versus Solo Sikoa or Damien Priest versus Gunther. How's that for full amplified honesty? If you guys can, much respect. If you guys are looking forward to that double main event, much respect. I hope it delivers. I'm not even saying it won't. They'll think probably of something to make it hopefully semi-fun and interesting. Still not the best way to book this or the most intrigue that can be put into it, but I'm hoping they deliver something that's special. But if you're up for this, just so you can get Roman back, there's a billion ways to bring Roman back. He doesn't even have to have anything to do with Cody Rhodes. I would keep him away from Cody right now. Especially if he's coming back a mega face. Cody is going to be devalued to second face anyway. Keep them away from one another. I don't need to see Roman come back in a Cody Rhodes match. Just so we can have Roman and Cody tag team through the holidays, which is another 6 months. Because that's what you know they're going to do. Roman and Cody tag team matches against the Bloodline all the way to January. Forgive me not, if I'm a little more creative than that. BC, it's okay, man. Solo versus Cody. They're just trying to get Roman back, BC. I don't give a fuck. Bring him back. I got 1,000 ways. I got a billion. I'm a trillion ways to write Roman back. Doesn't involve Solo versus Cody as my main event at SummerSlam. What? I would not pay $15 to watch Cody versus Solo or Damien versus Gunther. And that's my double main event on the second biggest event of the calendar year for this company. Unit, am I too harsh on this or am I just too damn bluntly honest? I know I'm not the only one. Deshaun, 14 months. Salute Deshaun Sanders. Solo should review his wins and losses. Well, Hunter Hearst Helmsley should as well, Deshaun Sanders. Should we put the guy who we just had lose 41 matches in a row, should we put him in the main event of SummerSlam? Screw it. Nobody knows anyway. Nobody does the research. Also got to give a shout out over to, who was that? That was a super chat from Ron C23. $2 super chat, man. Thanks for the call for your Ron C23. Always appreciated, never needed. Salute to BC and the unit. Woo! Not too bad. Not too bad of a Charlie Flair for Ron C23. She'll be coming back soon, Ron C23. Ron, appreciate you. Appreciate that super big time. Ron C23. More than anything, I'm glad you're up in here, Ron C23. I was on 40 minutes of notice. I love to see my gold carders up in here. I see all those truth bombs, man. James Shrimp Fajitas, Pimpe Sush, JJ Bulldog, JR9, Ron C23. I'm using too much common sense. Stop, BC. Ty Mel. Ty Mel, I know. Tell like it is, BC. Stegmeister. Eric Leno. Yeah, Rich. In their defense, Peacock is $5.99. LOL. That is true, man. You go to the dollar store, you're going to get dollar store product. That is true, right? We're spending the $5.99. We're getting $5.99 SummerSlams. Zoom. Just being honest. Appreciate that. You're being honest and throwing truth bombs. Sarah, I appreciate it. Crazy Country. Truth bombs. JGR for life. Truth bombs. Robert, 2005. Truth bombs. Prime Killer. Triple H is betting on Roman coming back to sell SummerSlam. Yeah. Strict Tango. Truth bombs. Yeah. So it's good. I'd say it's good to know that it's not just BC. That is not a double main event for SummerSlam. It's just not. I want to say it's good to know, but I already know that. If we're being honest, that's not a double main event for SummerSlam. That's all we're saying. I'm not saying it's not going to produce, right? On the day, I'm hoping everybody gets together and makes it the most special it can be. I hope to be live with you guys during the event. When I have the good, the bad, and the ugly, I want to put those matches in the greats, which is 2 goods apiece. I want to put Cody and Solo in the good. If the Roman comeback is electric, I'll give it 4 goods. If Damien and Gunther blows the roof off, I'll give it 6 goods. If it's that amazing. That's what I'm hoping for. It doesn't get away from the fact that the booking of those 2 matches is absolutely stupid. That's not SummerSlam, guys. Or if you wanted Solo to be looked at like that, then you're going to have to book them better. 41 losses? In a row? In a row! So after 6 months, everybody's like, hey, he's not just a jobber. He's like Brooklyn Brawler stat. He's like a loser jobber. And all of a sudden, Roman goes away for a couple months. He leads the bootleg, and everybody's like, Solo's a main eventer. No, a lot of fans are going to say, sorry, not to us. Not SummerSlam main event for sure. We just dropped it's just straight truth, man. You know what I mean? That's not a double main event. That's not even one of those matches. You think of SummerSlams in the past. SummerSlam's in the past, and you look at these 2 matches, and that's the selling point. And one of them is just so Roman can come back. You couldn't come up with any other way to get Roman Reigns back? Shout out over to, where's that? $5 super chat, I believe. Who's that super chat from? Get that on the big screen. Who is that? That's a gold card member. I'm stopping this live stream in its tracks until I find out who that super chat is. That is a, I always want to make sure I send out that acknowledgement, that appreciation. Colin! That's who it is! $5 super chat from Colin, a gold card channel member. So that's why I wanted to show an extra level of appreciation. What's up, BC? This is off topic, but I have to admit, something at the ending of Dynamite put a smile on my face, even though I'm very critical of AEW. Colin, you weren't alone. I said this, maybe it was yesterday in that stream. It was a quick half an hour stream, 40 minutes maybe. But I said, like, people are still talking about the Toni Storm or the Mariah May turn on Storm and how well done it was. Ending the show, letting it breathe, letting everybody just kind of, letting it all just unfold naturally. And when you give it that type of time and space, really good things are going to come. When you stop going bing, bang, boom for your entire 2 hours and you just take a few things and you do them right. Tony Khan's big issue, and we'll get back to the Raw review in a second, guys. What are we in? Hour 2? We'll go back to it. But Tony Khan he does this all the time where he feels he has to fit so much into the 2 hours. And then when it's over, it was a whole lot of nothing. It was a whole lot of something that was nothing. When you just take a few things, though, and do them correctly, man, a lot more people are going to talk because it's very special, and you're most likely doing them properly. He has so many people on the roster, he feels he's got to utilize so many, and it becomes just saturated, oversaturated. But a lot of people, Colin, my whole realm in the conversation here is that a lot of people are still talking about that finish. So that's when you know it was done correctly. Colin, I appreciate the super chat big time, man. As I always say, more than anything, good to see you up in here, able to catch that live, this live, that live, this live. We fucking live. Oh, I want to send a shout out to Prime Killer, by the way. 5-spot super. Hold on, before I read that, Prime Killer, let me give you a proper salute. Appreciate the coffee, man. Prime Killer says, is it too soon to break up Jade and Bianca at SummerSlam? If they do break up, who turns on who? Personally hoping it's Jade because I don't like her as a face. And not too early because there's no plan for them. They already ruined them at Clash at the Castle. When Isla and Alba won those titles, Jade and Bianca were done as a team. And you guys know I prop them up pretty much, probably higher than anybody else in the community because I love what Jade can bring to the table. I know she's so green and has so much more to improve on. But man, is that just a beast on presence alone. And with Bianca, I said it all the time as a joke, but it's actually truth. As a tag team in the wrestling world, you can put 2 Power Rangers together, the green and the red, You can put Optimus and Bumblebee in there, or Megatron and Optimus. You could put Batman and Superman in there. It wouldn't matter. Jade and Bianca are walking out victorious. That's how badass they are together. And they made them. I'm getting choked up talking about it. They made them. Think about this, guys. Please think about this. Because it was Scotland, they made them lose their titles to Alba and Isla, who were plucked from obscurity. Obscurity. JR9 loved Alba, Kylie Ray. Correct, JR9? I believe anyway. I know you love NXT's hit me with the NXT. I'm seeing is the mask. And Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane. Thank you. JR9's high on JC. But JR9 was so high on Kylie. But JR9 will tell you they were irrelevant. And they came out of nowhere because of Scotland and won titles. So what you did there is you just told everybody, wow, they can easily lose. They can. What are you going to do? Give them the titles back and try it again, the old college try? Is that really what they're going to do? JR9 loved Alba. Loved Alba. But JR9, correct? They were plucked out of nowhere. They were in obscurity, and they were the ones to dethrone Jade and Bianca's super team? So they're already done. The only option now, it looks like they're going, is to get the title. It looks like they want them to get the titles back. To do what? You don't have a plan. That's pretty clear. So I'll go back to Prime. I think it was Prime Killer, right? Let me go back. Where was it? Prime Killer. Yes, $5 super chat. Prime Killer says, is it too soon to talk the breakup of Jade and Bianca at SummerSlam? If they do break up, who turns on who? Personally hoping it's Jade because I don't like her as a face. I think that would be the route I would like to go. I love Jade as a heel. I thought in AEW, I loved her character. Cut the shit, Tony. And then she talked that trash. IRL, she's a sweetheart of a person, but she actually doesn't take any shit. So put that in her character. But the problem with that, Prime Killer, is a lot of people, including a lot of fans, they actually want to see Bianca as a heel. So it could be Bianca more than likely. I would like to see Jade Cargill, especially because there's still a lot of criticism out there for Jade as well. So it's much easier when you get that criticism as a heel. But no, to answer your question, it's not too late. That was ruined when they had them drop the titles like they did over a month ago. Or a month ago. Hold on, guys. I had another super chat before I continue on with the Raw review. I just want to make sure everybody gets proper shout out. Strick Tango. Salute, Strick. Strick Tango says, thoughts on Rick endorsing Cena to break his record. Yeah, if you guys don't know, Strick Tango, appreciate it, man. Appreciate the coffee. If you guys don't know, Ric Flair was asked, there's a possibility that before Cena retires, he could get your record for most titles, right? They could give him the title, and then he rides off into the sunset, vacating it. I'm actually okay with that idea, to be honest. Ric Flair said because it's John Cena, and I know how hard he works and how much he puts this business on his back and on a pedestal, this, that, and the other thing. Ric Flair gave a full endorsement for not just John Cena, guys. Ric Flair also said the other guy I wouldn't mind if it happens is Randy Orton. So, yeah, to stretch that a little bit, Strict Tango, it wasn't just John Cena. He also said if they allow Randy Orton to do it, I will also be okay with it. So Ric Flair, big endorsement with John Cena and Randy Orton. Cena has 16. He is tied with Ric Flair. And I think you guys said that Randy Orton is at, 14 title reigns? So he is 2 behind John Cena and Ric Flair, I believe, correct? You guys in the chat will correct me, please. Randy Orton's title reigns, I think it's at 14. Make sure I got that right. Hold on. I got Colin, I got Prime Killer, I got Strict Tango. And you guys are confirming that 14. Okay, so 14 title reigns. So he's a couple behind. Randy's going to have to pick up the pace. The problem with this is Randy's got some weird booking, man, where they're just linking him up with people, right? Either it's Matt Riddle, or it's Kevin Owens, or he's off TV for a month. Randy Orton has been really strangely booked for a couple of years now. Now, you could say it's to protect his back, BC, so they kind of want him in more tag matches and possible, absolutely. Or you could tone down his matches, right? Gunther only has to work once a month, basically, and most of the time it's just for a promo. They do it for Roman nonstop. They used to do it for Hogan. Randy Orton, I think, has earned the right to show up a couple times a month, couple, 2-3 times. Maybe wrestle once a month. I'm okay with it, actually. Other 2 times, promo. Maybe a live event here or 2. But you could protect him that way. But Randy Orton should be a top star in this industry, in that company. He doesn't feel like it a lot of times. We're talking about Roman coming back. He's going to be the biggest face. Cody Rhodes will have to take number 2. Jey Uso and LA Knight have to fight for number 3. But what about CM Punk? Randy Orton gets lost in the shuffle. Randy Orton is fucking amazing. He's badass. Legend Killer Orton, top notch. Not many characters can beat Legend Killer Randy Orton. Now, the hope is seeds were really planted this past week when Orton told Cody he'd always have his back forever, handing, fucking little fist bump, right? I can't wait for that. And if it's Randy Orton to take the title from Cody, I am more than fine with that. Randy Orton takes that title. He becomes a 15-time champion. And guess what? At that point, he's one behind John Cena and Ric Flair. Anyway, I don't know. What brought that up? What was that super chat? Strict Tango brought that up. Yes, Ric Flair endorsing John Cena, but he also endorsed Randy Orton. Pretty cool. Should we continue with the review? We left off with Damien Priest and Gunther's face-to-face, which just nobody cared about. I thought they did all right. Just nobody cared about it. And I think Hunter Hearst Helmsley heard loud and clear the displeasure for Damien Priest's title reign at Money in the Bank. And he is hearing it now pretty vividly. So he knew he had to really make Priest look like a champion last night and that he's worthy of this main event. So he sent in, Hunter Hearst Helmsley brought in Braun Strowman. And in less than 10 minutes, Priest hoists him up in a south of heaven and he pinned Braun Strowman. 1, 2, 3, Braun Strowman. It looks so goofy. It was so absolutely goofy. You guys have no idea how odd this looked. Literally Braun had to jump up as high as he could, and that was not high enough. Slams him down. You would have to pile half the roster on Bronson the way that this thing looked. But Strowman got pinned, 1, 2, 3, because they really had to send a message that Damien Priest is a caliber main event SummerSlam champion. So that's what they did. Braun Strowman 1, 2, 3 off of a South of Heaven. What else is in my notes? This was done to obviously try and bulk up Damien's title reign before he loses the title at SummerSlam. That's what I put in my notes. It's pretty obvious. I didn't have to put that down, right? You guys knew you were getting Damien and Braun out of nowhere. One of their biggest dudes on the roster because they really want to make Priest look worthy enough to be in there with Gunther, or at least care more about Priest. And if you were thinking too, well, BC, that they really think of Priest as a face now, right? All the comedy segments backstage, Gunther calling him street trash. Well, yeah, they are trying to, plant those seeds, but it fails when moments later you throw in your face, Braun Strowman, to get destroyed. What do you think the crowd is going to do? They're going to be confused, right? A lot of the kids, the families, they're cheering for Braun, yeah. And Damien takes them out and you're like, boo. And then afterwards, the segment ends with the crowd just staring at Priest, yelling at Gunther. That's what happened, because that's where it was after the Strowman match where Gunther and Priest kind of mixed it up. And then Gunther was on the outside. Priest is yelling at Gunther and the crowd is absolutely silent. The crowd nobody was cheering. Nobody cared. right? Priest just beat a face. Priest is a heel. He's yelling at another heel, and you listen and you watch the crowd, and it is complete crickets. And that's your main event for SummerSlam, folks. That was the bulk of hour 2. Damien and Gunther. And did beating Braun Strowman make you care about this match anymore for SummerSlam? If it did, cool for you. Didn't for BC, didn't for a lot of the unit. Then we move on to Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark defeating Chance and Carter via pinfall. Very cool finisher. Zoe launches Chance into Baszler's knee. This girl's knocked out. And I love Chance and Carter as a tag team. I feel they're so good. They're always trying to be innovative. They care about this. They want to do better every time. But this is one way that you could easily say, okay, that's a pretty badass way to go out. I mean, this was a knee to the face after being launched by Zoe. The problem is, commentary had no idea what to call it. Usually, back in the day, a badass finish by a team or a competitor, a wrestler, the commentary would know the move so that we would know it. Commentary just goes, oh, pretty cool move to end the match. What? What's the move called? So now I got to ask JR9 or anybody in the chat, do you guys know what that move is called? Because commentary didn't tell us. But it was pretty cool. The cool thing here is that they did give them 9 minutes. Unusual. Usually you don't see a match like this get 9 minutes. You have to believe that there was a big pushback less than an hour earlier when Zelina Vega was pinned in about 60 seconds. There was probably a wrath of frustration by fans. And that probably leaked over to Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And he was like, you know what? We got to give them a few extra minutes. And I believe they took a few minutes away from Drago and Samuel Zaney. That's what I believe. Sami Zayn and Dragunov got a few minutes taken out. And I'm okay with that, by the way, because you got to give your females more time. If your excuse is they don't pull in good ratings and the fans don't care about the matches, well, that's because you're also not putting your best foot forward for them. You're not giving them the time. You're not giving them reasons to care. Earlier, you just had Zelina Vega lose a 60-second match to Sonya Deville. And you wonder why fans aren't that into this tag match? So I think a few extra minutes were given. Usually a match like this gets 5 to 6 tops. That is tops. Just over 9? No. Spanning over 2 commercials, too. So, I mean, that's another thing. Half of it was in commercial, but whatever. At least they got the time. Does anybody know what that move was called, by the way? Because commentary had no fucking idea. Nobody knows, right? Hold on. Does anybody... They don't know, Jasmine. Ty Mel says no clue. Wait, so nobody has the move, the name of that move, right? So even today, that's what I mean. That's unacceptable. You cannot have a finisher like that. And commentary's best commentary is, what a cool move to finish the match. Are you just a fan? What are you talking about? You're the commentator. You should know their move so that we know the move. Juan, no idea. Robert, South of Heaven is Damien's move. We moved on to the tag team matchup. Who was that? Robert. Robert J. We moved on to the tag team match. This was a move that where Zoe takes a little chance, chucks her in the air, and she lands face first into the knee of Baszler. Thought it was badass. I also have to question, how many people can you do that move for? You know what I mean? If it's not little chance, I don't think you're launching Charlie Flair like that, although she's athletic. People like her, Naomi, so they could launch themselves, I guess. But I don't know how you're getting Piper Niven that I don't know how Zoe is going to launch Piper Niven into the ropes and chuck her up. I don't know how Nia Jax is going to hit the ropes and Zoe's just going to launch her in the air. But yeah, that's what I mean. It was just weird because I was waiting to put it in my notes. Like, what was that move? That was pretty cool. I'm waiting for commentary. They're like, on the replay, they're like, and there's a pretty cool move to finish the match. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Anyway, that was the tag team match. So it looks like, and if you're wondering, Damage Control, not even a part of the show. So if you are wondering, is Sonya Deville, Baszler, and Zoe just taking the place of Damage Control? The answer is yes. You saw it last week. The heels beat the faces. Damage Control should have had a moment to let that breathe and people look at them finally as a winner. Seconds later, they're getting out-heeled. Sonya's group, who are heels, beat up the heels of Damage Control. So you have nothing. All you can say is this is another Hunter Hearst Helmsley face turn. Because that's all Helmsley does is heel turns and face turns non-stop when he doesn't know how to give you good booking. He'll just turn everybody. So it looked like, I mean, was that the start of another Damage Control turn? We don't know because they're completely taken off TV. Now, I know Io was like in, where was she? Marigold this past week. She's doing work in Japan. That doesn't mean that Damage Control in totality could not be on the show after what happened last week. This shows you that they have just moved on to this trio. Well, what about Dakota Kai? What about Io Sky? What about Kairi Sane? So maybe they want to position them as faces, right? And they need help in a couple of months, and here comes Asuka! That's supposed to get the big fan cheer, right? It's Asuka! Right? And now she's with the faces now. Well, that only works if you properly build them for the next 3 months. Can you really count on that happening? And then we go to our number 3. Robert Verne. Sounds to me, BC ain't enjoying that heel versus heel dynamic. Can you tell? It's heel versus heel and face versus face all the time with Helmsley. It's so ridiculous. Do you guys know that when Raw went off the air last night, Drago went into the ring, crawled into the ring, Sami is standing there, and they shook hands. Mutual respect. How many times have we seen that over the last several months? Mutual respect. Face versus face. Fans don't know who to really cheer for. Heel versus heel. Fans don't know if they should be cheering at all. Dragunov then went backstage. He cut an interview. This did not show on air. Dragunov literally was like, man, Sami Zayn is a worthy champion. What a warrior. Same thing he said about Jason Uso. Same thing he said about Ricochet. Same thing he said about McIntyre. Every time he loses, Dragunov is backstage like he went through a war, not the winner of it. And he's like, oh my goodness, this is such battle. You're making this guy look so stupid. He never can pin anybody, by the way. That's off topic. That's going to be when we get to the main event. That'll be coming up. Anyway, that's what we call it. We used to call it the mutual respect era. Justine, BC, love the amplified energy. Love when you speak your mind. It's just truth. I love professional wrestling. I love WWE. I want to love AEW and every other promotion, right? Because every promotion, when it's at its best, will just help out every other promotion. But, man, we can be and should be doing so much better than this. If you truly love something, you want to see it prosper better, right? It's a fucking plant. You love your plant, you're going to water that shit. Too many people just give cookie cutter shit, and they're like, I loved all of this. Hunter Hearst Helmsley is cooking. He's cooking his ramen noodles. He filled to the line with water. He put it in a microwave. He pressed 3 minutes. He's cooking ramen noodles. Who cares? Who's cooking what? What are you talking about? Goodness. Alex. 5 spot. 5th ever. Super chat, by the way. Alex says, love your channel, man. Keep it going. Love your channel, man. Keep it going. Alex, I appreciate those words, man. Let me give Alex a big salute right now, man. There's going to be a massive swig of coffee. Yow! That's all I need. More coffee, BC. You know, it'd be nice if just more people were just honest about it. You know, the problem is that too many people just like have fallen in line with Hunter Hearst Helmsley. You know, they just love Hunter Hearst Helmsley and they think everything is gold as long as we don't have Vince. It's all. But you still have to criticize it if you love it, right? You still have to tell the truth on this shit. You can't possibly look at SummerSlam and go, that's SummerSlam worthy. Or all of these face versus face and heel versus heel matchups which the crowd doesn't know what to do and say, this is the best way to go about business, BC. All of these face and heel turns, face versus face matches, heel versus heel matches. This is where it's going, BC. No, dude, you can't do that. You can't do it. You can't. Look at these crowds. These are the people paying that just want to party. These are the crowds that want to yell, this is awesome for every match. And usually they do. Last night, there were so many times they were sitting on their thumbs, not knowing what was going on. I actually felt bad for these crowds now. So, let's go to hour number 3. I thought I already was going to hour 3. Was there a super there? I know Alex. Alex, again, I appreciate those words big time, man. And you know, we're going to keep rocking for sure. So I think I'll go into hour 3 now. This was Drew McIntyre with Adam Pearce, middle of the ring. Pearce says, I can only lift your suspension if you give... Oh, no, I can only lift your suspension and give you a match with CM Punk if you apologize to the referees that you injured at Money in the Bank. McIntyre looks at the 2 referees and simply says, no. No. Why should I? He says, you've been doing nothing but screwing me over left and right, time after time, every event. You, Pearce, and all of your little zebra shirts. You just screw me over anyway. If anything, you should be apologizing to me. So he says, no. And I love, there's this great image of Adam Pearce so pissed off when he tells him no. And I think I actually put that as my thumbnail of this live stream. I just love it. Pearce is, you just know, Pearce is going to suspend this dude indefinitely. Again. Or at least remain that suspension. Keep it. So, McIntyre looks at these refs. He says no. Pearce then says, you are still suspended. Drew looks pissed. He shoves both referees to the canvas. He's face to face with Pearce. And I told you guys yesterday, no matter what happens, even if he gets reinstated, this segment, because you know Punk isn't in the arena, so let's really elevate this. He's got to beat the shit out of Adam Pearce. This has to be big. And Pearce isn't just going to suspend him after this. He's going to absolutely throw him out of WWE. But Punk talks some sense into him, and there's a massive stipulation. If Punk can't get the job done against Drew, then this will happen with Pearce or whatever. But something can be done storyline-wise. But I felt that this moment last night, especially with Punk not in the building and the tension between Pearce and McIntyre, I felt we needed a Van Vader Gorilla Monsoon segment. Does anybody remember Vader and Monsoon? Gorilla Monsoon was like the president of WWE at the time. Vader was pissed off with the company, and so Gorilla, and beat the shit out of Gorilla Monsoon in an absolute whooping. Pearce had to get his butt whooped last night. Instead, the Disney sing-along dude, without his high heels, he did not go into Becky's closet last night, but here comes Sethington Rollins. Seth hits the ring, Drew retreats. What else is in my notes? Drew is pissed, shoves both referees to the canvas. Rollins hits the ring. Drew Mac retreats, and we do a Disney sing-along. That's what I had in my notes. And we did a Disney sing-along. Seth goes to Pat McAfee, and they start doing this together. I mute the TV because I get nauseous with the zombie sing-along. Punk must not be cleared because this match is too massive to announce it just 12 days from the event, which is next Monday. That's what it's going to be. Next Monday, we will only be 12 days before SummerSlam. This match is too big to announce it 12 days before. I don't know if Punk is cleared. Or maybe they don't trust it. Maybe they do something really stupid, like add Seth Rollins to the match, because that would be stupid. Drew versus CM Punk is too big. Do not diminish and devalue it and dilute it. The Triple D, and I'm not talking diners, drive-ins, and dives. Diminish, dilute, devalue. Do not do that to CM Punk and Drew. It's too big to add a third wheel to the match. Just like Seth Rollins and CM Punk is too big on its own, do not devalue, diminish, or dilute it with adding a third wheel in Drew. Both matches remain on their own. They're too big. On top of that, There's nothing on the line for a triple threat match. There'd be no purpose. We said it yesterday. What are they going to fight for? The kilt of Drew McIntyre? The bracelet of CM Punk that is currently with Drew? Or is the triple threat going to be the winner gets the bracelet? Or the kilt? Or Angela the sword? Or Sethington / Becky's high heels? What are they fighting for? A triple threat, there should be something, a reason for it. Even recently, when they were trying to get into the Money in the Bank or the King of the Ring tournament, whichever it was, they did a string of triple threats. Okay, at least the winner goes to something. What is this? 2 separate grudge matches thrown into one match with nothing truly on the line? No title, no any substance of value. Nothing. Just a grudge match. Stop. Stop with the triple threat talk. If CM Punk isn't cleared or you're worried about him, wait. I have no problem. SummerSlam card is already iffy anyway. We don't need to devalue, diminish, or dilute it with a half-ass CM Punk. No, wait till CM Punk's ready to rock. We will continue this story. Drew McIntyre was suspended, it looks like, to drag this on if need be. Well, this is a need-be situation. But do not add Seth to this for a triple threat. It makes 0 sense. Fight for Larry the Dog. There you go. Larry the Dog, who's 1-0 in competition, by the way. Beat, who'd he beat? That was, Kenny Omega. That was in a backstage brawl match. Backstage brawl, Kenny Omega versus Larry the Dog. Larry the Dog wins via the bite. Yes. Maybe they can fight over. I have no idea, but some people are like, wow, maybe we'll get a triple threat match. What? Just to add Seth into SummerSlam? Drew and CM Punk, this whole multi-month, so well done storyline, just to have a triple threat. Stop. No way, dude. Flip knows, bro. Eric Leno knows, man. Come on. I gotta send a shout out over to DB4 Live, $2 super chat coffee. A coffee from DB4 Life. H is cooking, all right. TV dinners and mac and cheese. So, trust me, I wish he was cooking. This is probably easily one of my favorite events of the calendar year, man. This always gets me hyped around summertime. It's around birthday time. It's SummerSlam. And it's like, what are we doing? What are we honestly doing with this card? If he's cooking, it's mac and cheese. I'd even go further than that. I think he's just filling the line to the top of that cup of noodles. Not even just ramen noodles. I'm talking about the cup of noodles. You know the little cup? You can get it for like 40, 50 cents. You fill it with water to the line. You pop it in the microwave for 3 minutes. I mean, that's what we're cooking if this is the card. Because this is not some fucking chef at the Four Seasons. If he's cooking, he certainly didn't go to any chef school. So, that's it. This match ended with Seth chasing off Drew. That's not what you do, man. Drew should have looked like such a badass. Like, he absolutely derailed Adam Pearce, beat up Adam Pearce. Then you have Drew go away for a few weeks. Because if you're doing Punk versus Drew, you're going to have to announce this with 12 days left. Because the next Raw, there's only 12 days left. This should be much more well done. CM Punk is coming back Monday, by the way. They're just taking turns every week. So Punk now comes back. Maybe he asks Adam Pearce to give him one more chance, and then the following week, Drew will come back. Who knows? We'll see, man. I got another super chat here before we continue on with this review. Hold on, guys. Let me just, JR9, my right-hand man on the channel, JR9 Gaming, says, watch Triple H have Seth be the ref for Drew and Punk at SummerSlam. First of all, JR9, let me give you another salute. Second of all, let me fathom that. JR9. I gotta process that. Seth with a zebra shirt calling this match. Ooh, that's something they could do. You know what? I would rather that than him in there as a triple threat for sure. So at that point, we would have dodged a pretty shitty situation with a triple threat. So I'll rather have him with a zebra shirt, but that is not needed. nor how this should be booked. Seth should have nothing to do with Punk and Drew's matchup or storyline. Honestly, guys, this started so well. You could have two separate storylines going if you just keep Seth away from Drew. It's that simple. You could be having CM Punk and Drew and CM Punk and Seth separately at the same time. Instead, this company just always rests on the bare minimum. Let's just throw everyone in there together. Not needed. We already saw Seth and Drew 185 times. Already seen it. We know everything that Drew and Seth can do to one another. It's done. Let's have fun with this now, man. I don't need to see Seth in a referee costume. Like he just went into Spirit Halloween and grabbed the referee costume on the fucking kiddie shelf. Come on, man. We don't need that. This is Drew, CM Punk. Let it stand on its own merit. I really firmly believe that we need two separate feuds on that accord. But if they put him in the zebra shirt and keep him out of a triple threat, then hey, at least it wasn't as bad as that matchup could have been. But JR9, I didn't even think of that. That's something that could absolutely be done. Because it looks like they want to add somehow Seth into this. Because they didn't plan ahead, and they had nothing to do with Seth for SummerSlam. Or Seth's high heels. Jey Uso defeats Dominik Mysterio via spear splash combo. Somehow Liv Morgan winds up on top of Mysterio again. This brings out Rhea Ripley. Morgan runs for the hills, literally up the arena, Liv Morgan. And if you saw what she was wearing, it just made it hilarious, right? You know, it's a little bit, it's very scantily. It's not what you would wear out for Valentine's Day dinner, right? It's a wrestling outfit. Just short of what you would wear at the start of your shift at a certain club. So to watch Liv Morgan with the booty shorts and the big boots, and she's running up the stands with all these little kids like, Mama! Yep, that's what I want, Mama, when I grow up. She's running up. She's got her arms frailing. It was hilarious, man. She runs for the hills. She runs up the as far as she could go up high to the camera. Can't catch her no more. But this was the same old Liv on top of Dominic. When it happened, I was like, what? We're doing it again? How many times do you think she's going to realistically, they're going to wind up on top of one another? Stop. At least try something new. We've seen it 4 times already. And that brings out Rhea. She runs away. Dominic continues to apologize, but they both walk off together, right? She's at least listening. She's pissed off. She's frustrated. She's listening. Nothing got added on to this at all. The match was made, and that was it. And if anything, all of what we were excited for, when Rhea comes back, man, Dominic is so screwed. No, he's not. Now they're just kind of arguing like high schoolers. This was not Fury. Dominic did not get ripped apart. Dominic wasn't a dead man. He wasn't done. He wasn't finished. He was just, Rhea's upset. But they're still hanging out together, walking off together, hanging out in the clubhouse. I honestly believe this would have been a lot better, man, than what we got with this storyline last night. They totally hit a wall with the story, or they just didn't care. I don't know. Maybe the cup of noodles was over. Maybe they accidentally put in like a 4th minute and the water was overflowing in the microwave. So Hunter Hearst Helmsley had to attend to the microwave that was now messy with water, and his noodles are all, the little carrots, the little shrimp. If you get the shrimp cup of noodles, those overflow, right? So that he's trying to pick up and maybe they just didn't pay attention to this storyline with Rhea, Liv, and Dominic, but it fell off the face of the damn earth. I'll tell you that much. Then we went into, and by the way, Dominik Mysterio, just another L via Jason Uso. I don't know what they're doing with Jey Uso. He comes out, he gets everybody eating for a minute, and you forget anything that Jason Uso did every week. Chad Gable then sets up a trap on Bo Dallas as the Creed brothers join in on a beatdown of Dallas. But Dallas keeps laughing. The more laughing led to more of a beating. Lights go out, and the Wyatt 5/6 appear. They hit the ring. Bo Dallas continues to laugh, takes the front of the group, grabs the lantern, does the Bray Wyatt arm stretched out, Very cool visual. And before that, Erick Rowan with a really good VHS type interview. And he was just talking about losing his brother and pretty much feeling just absolutely just drained. And of course, talking about Brody and then talking about finally recollecting himself. And right when he's about to get his head back on straight, here comes another big loss in his other brother, Bray Wyatt. So it was very telling, but if you're BC and a lot of you guys, you didn't need that to actually be said. You know why these individuals are being assembled, right? You know that. So I guess to hear it, maybe it brings a layer to a lot of you guys. I didn't need that to be said. There's many ways you could have went with this, but it was very well done. It was very emotional. It was very thought-provoking. I don't know how you top that if you were going to keep doing that with Nikki Cross or any of the other individuals. I mean, that's pretty much the one that everybody wanted to hear from, Erick Rowan. So, and I don't think we need another 4 weeks of these type of interviews either. I think it was good for what it was. I am so glad they added substance and they actually had Bo Dallas in the arena. And I love how Gable tried to set the trap up with the Creeds. And I also love how they could not destroy Bo Dallas. And the Wyatts 5/6, they're coming to the ring. I thought it was honestly just going to end with them at the ramp. And I'm like, come on, come to the ring, man. Add something. They did. Bo Dallas continued to laugh, arms stretched out. Then the segment ends. So it wasn't a lot. I understand if you guys are listening to the review and going, that's it. He just got beat up and then he laughed. And then the Wyatts came out. But if you saw how it was done, it was actually well done. It was one of the only moments of the night that I was kind of like, all right. You know, the Erick Rowan thing was done beautifully. The Bo Dallas setup I thought was done beautifully. You know, sometimes it's a slow build at times to certain things if you want it to be good. This is one of those that we'll let it stay its course, but I just hope they really have that long-term plan, and I hope it really hits. Because it is very slow. It is very slow. And a lot of fans are like, what are we doing with this? But Gable aligns himself with the Creeds. That's been in the works for many weeks and months. Otis and Tozawa and Maxine have kind of aligned with Xavier because Kofi's out for a few weeks. So in this whole feud with Karrion Kross and his peeps, Xavier has now enlisted the help of Otis, Tozawa, Maxine. Hopefully you guys are keeping track. So that was the Chad Gable nailed it like he always does. Bo Dallas was absolutely brilliant. Erick Rowan was brilliant. So yeah, not a lot to rip apart in that segment. Probably one of the better parts of, it was one of the better parts of the entire night. And then you go into the main event. This was Samuel Zaney. Zaney versus Drago. Hold on. And a super chat, guys. Hold on. Super chat. Let me go back. Fix that up a little bit. There you go. Fix that camera. Hold on. I saw the super chat. I got to go back, guys. Give me a second. That was DB4 Live. A 10 spot. Couple of coffees. Throw a Dunkin' over and maybe a couple clearly Canadians chucked at the channel. DB for life. Appreciate you, man. Big time. Salud. Another super chat, I should say, from DB for life. This one, a bigger one. 10 spot, not needed, man. Always appreciated. DB for life says, always love SummerSlam BC. But how did we go from Zeus and Macho King, versus Hogan and Brutus, to Gunther versus Priest and Cody versus Solo? Shake my head. Oh, bring back that iconic SummerSlam theme song from the 80s. Here's a coffee, BC. That's actually a couple more coffees. DB for life. I appreciate you big time. And yeah, that's, you know, I try not to expand on the past too much because we do want the best for the future of this business. But that's what I think about. I think about how iconic the main events were in SummerSlam past. And I think about how we felt going into SummerSlam. You know, it's the middle of the summer, right? Used to be at the end of August because it was always around the birthday. But then for some reason, like last year was like end of July. Now it's early August. But right around the middle of August, and you just always felt like, oh man, this is exciting. You were the morning of SummerSlam. It felt like a holiday. You know, SummerSlam, this double main event, man. I'm thinking about like back in the day, you would have like the VHS or the DVDs, and it would be the main event on the cover, right? That would be the cover of it. And like you said, could you imagine seeing Zeus and Macho or Warrior and Hogan or something like that? And now on the cover would be Solo Sikoa, Damien Priest, Gunther, and Cody. That's your cover. DB for life. Well said, man. I appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the coffees big time, dude. Main event, Samuel Zaney, as I said, versus Drago. Braun Spears Drago match over. This is what I put in my notes. When it was all said and done, I gave 0 fucks. My notes say exactly this. Braun Spears Drago match over. Post-match, Braun takes out Samuel Zaney. Show over. That's how the show ended. So this was exactly what I thought. Dragunov in this match makes no sense. He's on a losing streak. He won one match via DQ last week over Braun, I believe, because Sami interfered. That was it. No pinfall wins in 2 months. Only one in the 7 matches in 3 months. And he all of a sudden gets a title match. Now, they tried to explain it during the show. Sami Zayn's like, I asked Pearce for this match, Dragunov. You don't have to tell me you didn't earn it. So I like the fact that they tried to spend 30 seconds explaining why this was done. But one of the dudes I respect most in this industry is Dragunov. And I'll be the first to tell you, the way he's been booked has been absolutely criminal. There's no way he should be in an IC title match. No way would that have been approved by Adam Pearce just because Sami asked for it. No, not even storyline-wise, realistically, the way he's been booked, should Drago be in an IC title match? But he was last night. And I told you, this is just for Braun Breaker to take them both out. Didn't I tell you yesterday? And what happened? When I saw that there was a minute left in the show, I'm like, here comes Braun. Sami and Drago go to the outside, right in the position where you're going to get the spear, right? Oh, yeah, you guys know. Zoom, Fury, JJ, JR9, Reese, Justine, James Shrimp Fajitas. You guys knew that when you saw Sami and Drago on the outside, right where Braun always delivers his spear, you guys knew. You looked at the clock, you saw 1 minute, you said, here comes Braun. Cue the aerial shot on the crane camera, camera D. Sure enough, here's Braun. Sure enough, camera D, the crane shot is queued up. We get the aerial view. Here comes Braun, doing his best version of Braun Strowman's choo-choo, chaka-chaka, choo-choo, chaka-chaka, choo-choo. And he trains around, and we got the aerial spear, and Sami's like, nah, I've seen this every week for the last 3 months. I'm out, check you, deuces, ooses. And Sami just takes off, and he lets Drago get speared. Totally botched. Drago took it. They're not even taking it right. It's so weird. Was it Sami last week that, like, tried to get taken over the commentary table, but Braun Breaker isn't even looking. So he didn't go with Sami. He just goes right toward the steps. So that was kind of botched. Dragunov took it all awkwardly. And then afterwards, he just takes out Sami Zayn in the ring. Show goes off the air. Show goes off the air. At what point? Guys, I understand it was a cool shot the first time. I understand that Hunter Hearst Helmsley liked it so much he did it again. And again. And again. And at the pay-per-view. I get it. At what point, even if you want to see it more, and more, can we not do it every week? Is that so much to ask? It's already, it's worn out its welcome. It is so, you just automatically know it's coming now. It's not fun anymore. We get it. It looks cool. The first time it looked amazing. Sit on it for a month or two. Do it again when the time calls for it. Right? Wait a couple months, do it again. Maybe if you really need to, 2 weeks in a row at one point. Okay. Every single week we're getting the aerial spear. Guys, is it so much to ask that we just stop for a week or two? So maybe we're not just... I mean, this is a main event, and I'm not even bullshitting you. I looked at where they were. I saw 1 minute. I said, Q, Braun, I shouldn't know what's happening on the show before it actually happens. I used to say this all the time with the Vincent Kennedy McMahon era. Part of the reason why the VKM era toward the end of his run, and by the end, I mean over 10 years, was so bad, was because you knew what was happening. It was regurgitated segments, rematches. You just always knew what was happening beforehand. That's not how you should be watching a show, especially like pro wrestling that's live. Well, you got to be careful. Hunter Hearst Helmsley is doing the same damn thing. We should not have known that outcome. You waited 3 hours to watch a DQ finish and Braun Breaker's interference. Come on, man. You can't wait 3 hours for that. And Dragunov afterwards shakes hands. This was off the air. Raw was already off the air. He shook hands with Sami in the middle of the ring. He goes backstage. He cuts an interview. Dragunov has been doing this every week. He cannot get a pinfall over anybody. Ricochet was the only one. That was 3 months ago. That was it. He cannot pin anybody. Can't beat anybody up front. And he goes backstage afterwards like he just went through a war. He's holding everything. And he's like, that person's the real deal. After he talks all this shit. That he's invincible. He doesn't, you'd have to kill him because he's not going to lose. He said, and then he goes out there and he just can't beat anybody. Nobody. He can't beat Ricochet. He tried to do it a second time, couldn't do it. Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, Braun Breaker, can't beat anybody. That's okay if he's just a wrestler. Dragunov's character is that you'd have to kill him because he ain't losing, right? JR9, what did you say? The name literally is invincible? Or JR9, please, what was that? The name literally means invincible in Russian or something like that? I mean, and if you've seen Dragunov, you know this dude, he's got to win more than he loses. But people will be all right with it. Oh, in time, man. He'll get a push when the time's right. BC, you just got. Now's not it, man. They're gonna, just kind of rip them apart now, and they're gonna rebuild them, right? Break them down from the jump, rebuild them. He just got to the main roster. What are you rebuilding? You don't need to rebuild something that's already built and sent out. When a car is made at the manufacturing plant and the car goes to the dealership, you show up, you buy the car, you take it home and dismantle it. You come home, honey, I got a new car, and you dismantle it, you bust it open, you break it down. It's all in just pieces. And your wife says, well, why'd you do that? It was brand new. And you go, yeah, I wanted to break it down I'm going to rebuild it. It's going to be better. She's going to ask for a divorce because you're stupid. What? It was brand new. You just got Dragunov. There's no need to humble or break him down to rebuild him for a winning streak in the future. Right now, you show the fans why he is special. Because now, the actual supporters like BC, we can't get that out of the dome piece. What? You could put this guy on a 20-match win streak. You can make him feel like now he's finally invincible. Now we have to try to forget that he is capable of being so bad for so long. It's like my Yankees. We started really good this season. The whole last part of June and July now, we've been one of the worst teams in the league. Even if we go on a 25-game win streak when we come back from the All-Star break, 25-game win streak. Best team in the league post All-Star break. I'm still not going to forget about what just happened in June and July and how bad we can be at any time. Right? Because at that point, it's in the gene. It's in the DNA of the team. You know that they can be that bad for that long. You don't. So that's always going to be there. They're doing good now. At any moment, they could do really bad for that long. That, unfortunately, is what this Yankee team has put on themselves because they've been that bad for so long. They've lost that many games. So no matter what, we will not look at this team as a World Series team because that's how bad they are. Same thing with Dragunov. No matter how you book him going forward, you have hurt the booking of him so badly that the supporters are now saying, JR9 can back me up in the chat because he knows. The supporters of him are now going, damn, we didn't even know that was in Dragunov to be this bad for this long. He went below average AF. You knew he wasn't winning a title last night, but he should have never been in a match like that, knowing that it's just going to end with another DQ after the results, and they're both going to be looking up at the lights to Braun Breaker, the same way their segment ended last week. Both of them knocked out looking up at the lights while Braun's on the commentary table talking shit. Great for Braun, maybe. They got to rebuild him because he lost clean looking up at the lights to Samuel Zayn at the last PLE. I don't know what they're doing with Dragunov. Within a year, if you're saying BC, would you be shocked that Dragunov got released like a Cameron Grimes or a Dijak or something like that? I can't even tell you I'd be shocked. Month ago, I would have told you more than shocked. Now, if you tell me within a calendar year that Dragunov is being released, I would absolutely actually believe that. Because it's clear the value isn't there. It's clear that at some point they're going to try to give him a push, I guess, right? Good luck. Good luck. LA Knight is proof of that. LA Knight is nowhere near what he once was with the chance. Listen to the crowd reaction. It was, whoa, bro. And Hunter Hearst Helmsley laid down on that for a whole year. Remember? Kept him off the big show. SmackDowns kept him off Madison Square Garden. Did not let him win the Fatal 4-Way to get to the United States title. Not even get to the title match. Wouldn't even let him win the Fatal 4 to get to the match. Didn't have him win Money in the Bank. Nothing. Kept him off big shows, big PLEs. And then finally this year, SummerSlam, maybe you'll win the mid-card title from Logan Paul. But listen to the reactions and everything. It's sad. Why did we wait an entire year when LA Knight was one of the most white lightning hot individuals in the industry is beyond me. But this is what he does. Too hot. Fans might like you too much. We cannot have that. It's got to be on our time. So guys, that was such a no. I would not wait 3 hours knowing that was the finish, but I knew it was going to be. But for the sake of these notes and you guys, I let it play through. Maybe they have something more stunning or more special, more exciting for the finish. Maybe some creative got put into the finish. Nope. Aerial spear. Good night, everybody. Hunter Hearst Helmsley's Monday Night Raw. Another flat show. SmackDown was flat. Go you listen to the review of SmackDown. Listen, is there a couple two-tree things good here and there? Absolutely. We speak on them. And thankfully, but so much is just so bad with this. And it's we shouldn't be shocked that SmackDown stayed stagnant at 2.2 for 2 straight weeks. We shouldn't be shocked that Monday Night Raw can't get past 1.7, 1.8 tops. No football competition. We shouldn't be shocked, man. Like it's those ratings are worthy of what is being produced. Nothing's making sense. Face versus face, heel versus heel. The crowd doesn't know who to cheer for. Mutual respect. Face turn after face turn or heel turn after heel turn because we don't want to put proper booking in. So we're just going to do a bunch of turns. This booking has to stop. If this is Hunter Hearst Helmsley cooking, get out of the kitchen. Somebody take his apron. It's done. Or he needs help. Somebody has to help him creatively. I don't care at this point if it's Vincent Russo. Did I have a super chat over here? I think I had a super chat. Hold on, guys. A couple super chats before we take off. Hold on. Reese, I believe. Was that Reese Monet? Hold on. Reese! 2-spot coffee. Triple H. Hunter Helmsley has burnt the noodles. Reese, that's what we said. Reese with that $2 coffee says Triple H has burnt the noodles. That's what we just said. I think the cup of noodles were put in for an extra minute. It was 4 minutes. It's only supposed to be 3 minutes you put in the microwave for a cup of noodles. Literally says right there, man. Done in 3 minutes. Hunter Hearst Helmsley put it on for 4. Now all the little pieces of shrimp and the carrots and the corn, the noodles are overflowing, Reese. Get Triple H out of the kitchen. I don't even care if you put him on microwave duty. Reese and Janelle. Let me give Reese a proper salute. I could have been done with this coffee an hour ago, man. We're in an hour and 53 stream, but I'm trying to savor it for the entire stream because I don't have enough water to fire up the Amplify 5000 coffee machine. Janelle Reese. Much love, respect. Janelle, 18 months. Grateful to... Oh, let me put down the big... What are we doing? Big screen. Grateful to be together with the amp unit today. Thank you, BC. Have an amplified day. Janelle, you too. Let me give you a proper salute. And to another 18 months going forward and beyond. Janelle Lane, 18 months. We've only had channel membership for 19, man. So I can't tell you how awesome that is when I see you guys rocking with BC and the unit in this channel for that long. Janelle, keep amplified for sure. Reese and Janelle and Stegmeister, who started this off with a 20-spot mini banger bomb. Another 10-spot, another cup of coffees. In fact, Stegmeister, you know what? Stegmeister has hooked up the channel so much, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to crack open a Clearly Canadian. What do we got here? The Orchard Peach. All right, haven't had the peach in a long time. This is a Clearly Canadian that I was going to pop right after the live stream. But you know what? I'm going to pop the top during the live stream because Stegmeister is firing up those supers. There we go. Stegmeister, appreciate you big time, man. All the coffees and the Clearly Canadians, man, never needed, as I always tell you. It's always appreciated more than anything. Seeing you rocking up in this chat, man. Seeing those colors go off with those super chats, that's probably the coolest thing. Stegmeister, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Oh, man. You know, I drink about 12, 13 coffees a day now. It used to be 9 to 10. I have about 12 to 13 coffees a day. That's not healthy, by the way. Don't do that. Do as I say, not as I do. But now I also have about, I would say like 5 or 6 of these now. We stay amplified. Stegmeister, I got to go back to what was actually said. I'm over here just thinking, Stegmeister. To piggyback off DB, Bulldog, and Brett in 92, or Taker versus Austin in 97, Cena versus Edge in 06, all matches that got you hyped for the pay-per-view. Hit the bricks, PLEs. Hit the bricks, PLEs. They will always be pay-per-views to the Stegmeister. Same way, dude. You listen to enough of these streams and these uploads, I still call them PPVs, or I'll say PLE PPVs. But they'll always be pay-per-views. Hit the bricks, PLEs. But I guess if we're paying $5.99, we're going to get $5.99 matchups. But yeah, Bulldog Brett, I mean, that scream. When you think SummerSlam, those are the matches, man. Bulldog and Brett. Taker Austin, was that 97? Cena and Edge, 06? Well, now you're going to add Solo Sikoa and Cody. Stegmeister. That's what you're going to add on, bro. That's what you have to add on, Stegmeister. Solo Sikoa and Damien Priest's matchups. Jimmy Fingers, 19. Jimmy Fingers, 519. Before I read that, let me give Jimmy Fingers a salute. We'll stick with the Clearly Canadian for Jimmy Fingers, 19. 519, by the way. Jimmy Fingers 19 says, BC, do you see Taylor Howdy making the SummerSlam card in a one-on-one or in a 5-man? No, only because the card is already pretty much stacked to an 8 to 10 match card, right? Man, I don't want to take too much more of you guys' time. I know we're about to hit 2 hours, but I mean, we're almost already, or it's going to be announced at 8 matches. That's what Hunter Hearst Helmsley wants, only 8. We do believe that it's going to be bulked to 10. And none of those actually involve Howdy. Now, that's not official, obviously. So he could make it. You could see like the Creed brothers and Gable versus, I don't know if Howdy would actually wrestle, though. They could keep that to like Gacy, Dexter, Rowan. Right? They could do something. I think it would be a 6-man tag is what I am saying. I doubt very much they would go Gable, Bo, one-on-one. Although that's already intriguing to me. I don't know. Jimmy Fingers 19. I really didn't think of that because this has been such a slow build, slow burn. And again, you need that at times for sure. Slowly but surely. It's going very slow. But I didn't think of Bo and Gable being at SummerSlam just because the card is already pretty much filled out. I will say this, if they decide to go Bo Dallas, Chad Gable, and not Uncle Howdy, like even just Bo Dallas versus Chad Gable, I am more than down with that. That would help SummerSlam. I don't even need to see Uncle Howdy versus Gable. and you could really ignite the storyline further between Gable, the Creeds, and the Wyatts. I hope that makes sense, Jimmy Fingers 19. I haven't gave it that much thought because I know the card is pretty much already penciled in, and it might even be bulked up to 10 matches. And none of that beforehand had anything to do with the Wyatts. So, possible. It would, if it's one-on-one, I would love that because it would help SummerSlam greatly. The most likely thing is like a six-man tag if they're going to have a match at SummerSlam. More than likely, there is no match with the Wyatts at SummerSlam. And maybe they just are a part of it somehow. I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about it in the chat. I mean, do you guys think that the Wyatts make this card, or at least Bo Dallas? Jimmy Fingers 19, great. That's a great question, man. I have to spend a lot more thought on that. Ron C 23, 5-spot coffee, or a couple clearly Canadians. Ron C, I gotta give you a salute. And Ron C 23, I'm switching it up. Woo! I gave you the Charlie Flair at the beginning of that super chat, bro. I get afraid when wrestlers make their returns after hiatus because it might not make any difference at all. Yeah, you'll get the initial pop, which your Charlie is going to get. Charlie will get a pop from the kids and the families and everybody in the arena. Whoa, we haven't seen her in a while. Yeah. But what usually happens, because the booking isn't there to back it up, there's not that real connection, that kind of goes away fast, doesn't it? And before you know it, the return is done. Rhea Ripley came back last week. This week, it's business as usual. The storyline was flat. You would never know that, whoa, Rhea's back. Like we all had that feeling last week. This week, the storyline was flat. Liv is on top of Dominik again. Rhea's not that pissed at Dominik. Rhea's just letting him apologize, and she's rolling her eyes. I'm upset. You might be sleeping on the couch tonight, Dominik. That's it. That's it. We all thought, oh man, she's going to literally rip Dominik in halves. Ron C23, perfectly said, man. I think I got everything in. I to be honest, man, as I always am, I tried to get this within 1 hour. The coffee was flowing. Now they're clearly Canadian. We kind of went 2 hours plus. It is what it is. Everything else now got backed up. I really should have made it 2 o'clock, but you know what? Oh, well, this was a lot more fun. So thanks to you guys. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate it big time, man. JR9, we indeed did, dude. A lot of fun, which is probably why this went over 2 hours. Thank you guys, man. Until next time, there will be a next time. If some big news comes up, obviously BC will put something up for you guys. With a 5-spot, Rob says, instead of being excited for Stephanie, I feel anxiety about Triple H booking and running her. Stephanie really impressed me. Rob, Stephanie Vicure? The debut in Mexico City? Rob, if you're still in the chat, let me know if we're just talking about the same Steph. I mean, I'm pretty much sure that's the only Stephanie right now that's in the news cycle, but I just want to make sure before I comment on that. Rob says, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'll use your words. You said, instead of being excited for Stephanie, I feel anxiety about how Triple H is going to book Stephanie. Look at what just happened, right? They just signed her. They said, oh, we're going to be in Mexico actually like this week, probably what enhanced the rushed signing. And then they're just like, go out and perform. So she wins a match over a champion right now. Isla Dawn, I think it was. I don't think it was Alba. I think it was Isla Dawn. So she beats Isla, Mexico City, I believe. It was in Mexico. And that was it. I don't even think she was in the video package last night when they were showing some clips of Mexico. Maybe she was. I didn't see it. I thought they kept her out. So now do you forget about that appearance and have her debut in a different way down in NXT soon? Does she get vignettes? Is he going to put her on any type of pedestal, or is she just going to be another spoke on the wheel? I don't know. She had a lot of the wrestling world talking. A lot of people thought she was going to do a lot more with AEW. Tony Khan blinked. When he opened his eyes, Triple H, Paul Levesque McMahon, Hunter Hearst Helmsley literally signed this woman. I'm still shocked at that. But we're going to find out, was that just a spite signing, right? You wanted to work with her. You had a good match with Mercedes Moné. Now you're coming to work for us. Was that a spite signing, or does Hunter Hearst Helmsley really see value in her? Because like you said, I think you ended your super chat. Stephanie really impressed me. BC too. I only saw a few matches before that. One of them was like with Julia for the Strong Championship. The Monet match, obviously. And maybe one other match. But yeah, she's damn good. But like so many wrestlers in the company, will they be booked as such? Could be another story. Ron C, I appreciate that. Great show, BC. Thank you. Thank you, JJ Bulldog. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you guys, man. You guys are thanking BC. I thank you guys because the reason we are so amplified for over 2 hours straight, the reason you guys get this BC, this version, is because you make it fun. You light up the chat. We rock it out. We stay amplified, which nobody else does. So I appreciate it. I got to go rock out now. I got to go get more coffee. I got to down my Clearly Canadians. I got to go throw people through walls in New York City. What? You stared at me the wrong way? Get out of here! Chuck people through walls. Powerbomb baristas. All right, guys. Till next time. There will be that next time. BC is at this point going to say, check you. Deuces. Thank you, guys. I'm going to need you to do me one thing. Go long. Go long. I'm doing the Hail Mary 75-yard bomb. Longer than that, man. I said 75 yards. You guys look like Seth Rollins going slow against his Damien Priest title match. There you go. James is already in the end zone. I'm going now, man. Let me fix that camera. I got to make sure I got you guys here on this. There it is.